Hi Christina, so this is just a quick help video on how to access your website and how to set up a blog. You may need to watch this video a couple of times for it to make sense, but I'm just going to run through things with you now. So first up, I've sent you an email with a link and a username and a password. If you click on the link, pop in your username, which has to be in capitals, pop in your password, and then if you click sign me in. That will then basically take you to this screen here. Ignore any messages over here about payments due. There's no payments due. I'm not sure why they appear. So on the left hand side you come across to websites and you click on that. That will then basically load up a little thumbnail of your website, and then you'll see at the bottom here edit website. You just click on that. Once you've clicked on that, that will load up Bramble, which is the system that I use to build your website. If you've got a fast connection, it will be instant, and if you're on a slower connection, it can take 30 seconds or so for it to come up. The first thing to say is ignore any strange symbols. It starts up by loading your home page. You can also ignore things like the home page has the slider in two different versions. One's the phone version, one's the computer version. So basically I wouldn't touch any of this for now. What we're going to look at today is just how to basically run the blogs. So like I say, Bramble will load up, it will load your home page. But the first thing to do when you're making a blog is to load up the last blog that you've done. So they're all numbered. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to use the March blog to make a new blog, which is exactly the same process you would do if you wanted to do a new one this month. And so you basically would just follow these steps, and that's how you do it. So first up, if you load up your March blog, this is really important. What we need to do is we need to make a copy of this first of all. So to do that up here, if you hover over, you'll see it says duplicate this page. So you just click on that. Then just wait a couple of seconds, and then you'll see on the right hand side it then tells us that the page has now been saved correctly. And the first thing to do is we have to give this page a unique name. So they're all called blog, then a hyphen because you can't have spaces in your page names, then the number. So the last one was number 23. This one we're going to call it number 24. We're still in March, so we can leave March on there. But if this was an April one, you could just change it to April. I'll just change that for now. When you're happy with it, you've changed the page name, you click the little padlock. And then what you do is you hit publish, and then you hit OK. So what we've basically done there is we've taken your March blog and we've duplicated it, made a copy of it, but we've given this one a new name. And basically we're ready to then start. So the best thing to do once you've done that is to click finish. That basically means that it's kept the old page and it's kept the new page set up as well. So back again, you click edit website, and we're basically now going back into the editor. We're going to choose that new page that we've made, which is number 24, the April one. And basically what you do is you can go through now and change all the blogs. If you got them all written out already, you can basically paste them in. That's the way I would do it. I'll just paste your blog post straight in. So paste your title in, paste your first paragraph in, and then you'll see as you scroll down we've got the last blog in here. So if you wanted to start with two photographs next to each other, they're already in place and positioned for that. So you would just take your new photographs. So I'm just going to come down to your last blog and just pull a couple of images in from that. You would obviously choose the two images you've got that you wanted to use. So I'll just say for this one we'll use this one. So you click on the image, you click change. We're going to pop that one, we drag and drop. It's then changed that photograph. If we then wanted to change this photograph as well, find another landscape one in here. I mean, that'll do. They might be the wrong size, these, but it's just to show you how it works. You drag and drop. And then there's two images then next to each other. And then obviously you can then carry on posting and writing or pasting in your blog post the next sentences, the next bits and pieces. If you then decide you just want the one image, you can obviously upload the one image because that's already in place with just one photograph. But if you thought, actually, I want another two photographs next to each other, if you click this area and click duplicate, you can see what we've done is we've just copied those two images. We can then drag that down below that text. So it's a bit like copy and paste, a bit like a jigsaw puzzle. You're just taking different elements that you want to copy and you want to paste. And for example, if you had, did we have a row of three? So if you had this row of three and you thought, actually I want a row of three images at the top, you can duplicate them, you can drag them where you want them. up and down the page. So if you decided that that's what you wanted, as towards the top you wanted 3 images in a row, that's going to be hard to drag that over that one. You would basically keep dragging them until you've got them in position where you want them. So if we decided we didn't want that row of 2, we wanted a row of 3, we can then take the row of 2 we don't want anymore and remove it, and we could upload our new photographs, whatever they were. And so yeah, so kind of that's how it works really. You've also got little remove if you don't want to have certain images in certain positions. You've got duplicate if you want to copy. If you've got more text to write, you can duplicate this whole section, move that down here, write more in here. So it takes a bit of getting used to, but the best thing is practice, because you can't do any harm if you duplicate a blog page and just come in like I've done here and just practice and have a play around. You won't do any harm basically, because you can still publish that and save it, and it's just a test page. If you decided it was no good and you didn't want to use it, you don't have to put it live and you don't have to do anything with it. So basically you just go through, you can use the text that's in place. Anything you don't want you can remove. You can then use the little text boxes that you've got here to paste in new bits. And again, if you didn't want that photo, you just remove. You can remove anything that you don't want at the bottom. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. You've just got duplicate. So every text box that you have, you can duplicate to make another text box to move that wherever you want to move it. And everything you don't want, if you didn't want that text box, you can just remove it. And yeah, I think it's probably the easiest way to show you that, just how to do the basics of getting a rough layout together. It might be something that I need to tidy up and help you with, but at least it will get you started on how to do a blog page. The last thing to tell you about blogs, this confuses people a lot, but once you've put everything in place and all your images are ready, the first thing to do is publish and hit OK. What we've done there is we've just saved those changes that we've made to this new blog. And then the last thing that you have to do is click on every photograph, and over here it remembers the old photograph that used to be there. So if you just click the little button above it and do that on every image, and that basically then it tells it to forget the old image that used to be there. So you go through and click each one, and then go back to the top and click that button again, and you'll see it's remembering the correct photograph. What that basically means is if somebody on a small screen clicks these photographs now, they get a larger version of it which fits their screen better. So don't worry so much about why you're having to do that, just remember to do it at the end. And like I say, when you're finally happy with the blog, you'll notice every image you click, the image matches the thumbnail at the bottom here. So yeah, I know that can be a little bit confusing. I say to most of my customers, do your first blog post and have a practice and have a try. If you're comfortable with it and if you're happy with it, obviously you can keep doing as many as you like. If you need more support and you need more help with it, then obviously just let me know. But I'll delete this test page I've just made. But the main thing to remember is have a go, have a play, use your duplicate across the side here for anything you want to copy and have a duplicate of. And then if anything you don't want, use your trash can. And then you can change the order of photos. If you upload 3 in a row, you can move them around if you don't like how they're displaying. Yeah, so it's fairly flexible. And again, if you wanted a row of 2, you can copy those, and you could end the blog with a row of 2 photos next to each other by dragging that to the very bottom and just putting it where you want to put it. So if you decided you wanted to end the actual blog with 2 more images, again, you can just have those there. Yeah, but I hope it kind of helps you to understand how it works. And if you do get stuck or need further help, just give me a shout. Thanks for watching.